Alrighty, guys. So today's topic is going to be about body measurements. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on Hawaiian culture and how they do that. We'll be going over topics stuff like oho, kiko'o, as well as an iwile.
Oh, I have a distant relative in Samoa who said they did something like that too. They used to measure the land using their steps.
Oh, that's cool. And honestly, that makes sense because a lot of cultures do use like the bodies to measure because we always have our bodies on hand. Um, and I think in Hawaii they also use it for like kind of everyday stuff. So like building, I think canoes or like homes. And I think they even do it to measure distance out at sea, like the distance between rocks and reefs.
Wow, so it wasn't just for fun, it's for survival.
Yeah, so math and measurements were part of everyday life. And I think it's because like they connected the land and the ocean to the people. So for this, why don't we try measuring like the things around us using what we just learned, right?
Yeah, so our paper is three boho, so it's one, two, three. And it's two iko'o, so it's one, two.
Wait, but your hand is like bigger than mine. So doesn't that mean it's different for everyone?
That's a really good observation, Kimberly. So what does that tell us about this system?
That it depends on the person, but maybe that was okay back then. Like they just needed approximate sizes.
All right, yeah. So this is called a non-standard measurement. And consider, towns, like different communities, they have to decide who they're going to use as their basis for measurement. And that could have been like using the sheep's arm for their norms.
But like, are you sure it's really math though? Because it's not exact, and we're not using formulas or calculators, which are exact.
Valid question.
I think it is because we are they're estimating and they're comparing and they're like finding relationships between this. So I think it is math, but it's new to us.
That's a good answer. Yeah, so math is about relationships, it's about reasoning, and it's about finding patterns, right? And there's a lot of ways that you can express thinking. The Hawaiians, they use logical thinking to express and find meaning in the world around them.
In Mexico, we sometimes say el palmo,
Yeah.
which is like the span of your hand. And my grandma uses it for like sewing and cooking.
Oh, wait, that's really cool. Yeah. So different cultures basically you use like their own bodies as like a ruler, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's really cool how some cultures have had to find creative ways because they don't have like the fancy tools that we have now. Yeah. Yeah. What's up?
My friends, when we're building something with wood, her mom will use that same technique and say dos manos for
Oh.
measuring the wood.
So even though we use centimeters now, the cultures and traditions keep those ideas alive. Yeah.
Oh, if one iwili is about two haima and one haima is four fo, then one iwili is eight fo.
So one boho is 1/8 of an igule.
Wait. So if one iwile is equal to 8 poho, then that means 2 halima is equal to 8 poho. Then 1 halima is 4 poho.
Yeah. So this is proportional thinking, right? And you guys are basically building a system of measurement just like the Hawaiians did. That is called algebraic thinking. And it basically started because they needed to solve everyday real life problems, right? So I have a question for you guys. Why did they specifically choose, these units of measurement? Why not something else? Yes.
Because they needed ways to compare stuff so that everyone could understand it and then use it.
Oh,
And it's a way for them to connect themselves to their body and culture.
nice. Yeah. So you can think of it as like, math has a bunch of different colors, right? And basically it all comes together to form part of like the history, the culture, the traditions, and the identity of the culture. Yeah.
So, do you think Hawaiian measurements are better than feet or centimeters?
I mean, everyone knows what a foot is. His feet are more exact. So, isn't all this Hawaiian like useless, right?
But the Hawaiian one has more meaning to them. It comes from the body and from the ocean life they lived. And me personally, when I learn new things, not just measurement, I like to learn about the origin or where they come from.
Kimberly, remember that we also have centimeters used in science and almost everywhere in the world, so it's not so straightforward. And since everyone has their own way of measuring, you really can't, you know.
Yeah, so those are all really good points. And it's not necessarily about like which system is the best, so to speak. It's more so on how we are able to compare them and learn more about them and then also appreciate where each one of them came from.
So we can use any system and see how they connect with one another.
Yeah, so you can think about it like this. Math is like a bunch of different systems that are talking to each other. And when we look at them, we are able to see how people, were able to realize their own worlds in the time and the context and the culture that they were in. So good job, everyone. Let's move on.